Hello, my friends. Good afternoon. Welcome back to my opinion matters. So, how was your day? I hope that your day is okay. And we thank God for this wonderful day. Most especially, we have to thank God because we're still healthy and alive. So, yesterday was my birthday, and I would like to say thank you to all my YouTube subscribers who have greeted me and who were able to remember my special day yesterday. And to all my student and previous student, thank you for your greetings. To all my friends, thank you for your greetings and for the chance to enjoy your company and your presence yesterday on the celebration of my birthday. So today I'm going to share with you a very interesting topic. And by the way, before I give you the topic for today, I just would like to say good afternoon to all my new subscribers. So thank you very much. Actually, the number of people who are watching this program on my YouTube channel, John Padillon, is increasing. So thank you very much for your continuous support. And please do share all my videos on this channel. This channel is John Padillon, and and don't forget to click the bell so that if and when that I will be on live again, you will be informed immediately if I am again doing a live stream on this channel. And of course, every Saturday, from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Okay, I am doing a live stream of my opinion matter. So this is a learning discussion of the different important issues, not only in the Philippines but also in other parts of the world. So for today, there is a very interesting topic that I would like to discuss to you, and the topic is all about the ideology of our actions. So if I'm going to ask what influence or what fuels your actions of all the things that you are doing every day? What inspires you? Where do you get that inspiration? It's very important for us to be conscious of our action, because according to Max Weber, whether our action is small or big, it has a great impact on not only to ourselves and to our family but the entire society. That is why it is very important for all of us to be conscious of the things that we are doing every day. But the question is, what type of actions are we doing, and what inspires all the actions that we are doing every day? And that is where the idea of ideology will come in. So, my dear friends, when you say ideology, it is not only the idea, it is more and beyond the idea. Ideology is somehow like a philosophy, okay? It's a belief that many people, okay, actually, these are belief, or yeah, it's more than an idea, a belief of a philosophy that makes people to move, that makes people to do something, okay? There are many people who are, they believe in different ideologies, and the ideology that they believe in is actually symbol of their life. Okay. And for this afternoon, I just would like to help you realize the importance of this ideology, so to speak. Now, when you talk about political spectrum, okay, and in relation to what we're talking about ideology, this is our belief in philosophy, that fuels and make us to perform a particular actions, based on what we believe in. In relation to political spectrum, okay, there is what we call the horizon of the political spectrum, and it is actually commonly divided between the right and the left hemisphere. Okay, The right hemisphere is what we know as the conservative ideologies. And the left hemisphere of the political spectrum is what we believe identified as the what we call the radical, okay, or the democratic, okay, the liberal perspective, okay, the liberal perspective, that is the left hemisphere. So it is very important for us to identify, no, the type of ideology that we are actually believe in, and for some, they are actually using it on their lives at present. Because it is very important for us to balance, no, the specific ideology that we are actually using in our lives, no, because it is very important for us as human being to balance our life. And by doing so, okay, first we need to identify and to know better ourselves, and that is according to culture. And the best way for us to identify our personality, ourselves, first we have to be conscious of the things that we believe in. Okay? And the things that uh, we use as guiding principles in our life. And these are what we call ideology. Okay? For some, they call it as philosophy, but ideology is the concept that I would like to use for the discussion this afternoon. So, my friends, in the right hemisphere of the political spectrum, this is what we call the conservatism, the conservative ideologies. No? These are people who are actually prefer to have the status quo in the system, whether it is political, they prefer to have what you call gradual changes, or rather to protect the traditional, the conservative type of practices in their life. Okay? And simply saying, these are people who are not actually open for that big change. You know? If you're talking about changes in the society, changes in the politics, they are not actually they are not actually interested more on it, because these are people who believe and actually promoting what we call the status quo. It's very important for them to maintain the tradition, no? The practices, and sometimes their comfort zones, no? If these are things or the system that they are much very familiar with, and therefore they would like to have status quo. So that is the conservative people. Okay? In psychology, these people perhaps will can be associated what we call they have what you call fixed mindset. Okay, they have fixed mindset because they are not open for suggestion. Okay, because they would like to stay on their comfort zone. Okay, so these are the right wing ideology. They are the conservative people. But the problem is with the conservative people, because they are not that interested with the change, no? The problem is, if you are very conservative, most likely there's a tendency for you to become a fascist, no? What do we mean by fascism or fascist? There is a tendency that you will have a too much control over your life or over other people. So there's a tendency that they will become totalitarian or dictador or dictatorship. Diba? Just like Hitler. Hitler belonged to the right weighing of political spectrum. And that is the extreme, okay? The extreme part of the political spectrum. It's fascism. Fascism is actually based on what you call dictatorship and totalitarianship, wherein the leader has the full control of everything in the country. Okay? And in our history, we have witnessed Marcos, we have witnessed Hitler, Fidel Castro, and other dictators in the history of this world. So these people belong to the conservative, okay? Because they are very protective. They prefer status quo. They are fighting about the traditions, no, and the old practices in the society and the government. Okay, so that is something that they protect. So they are not that just open for the liberal ideas, because for them, what is old and what is conventional are actually works. No, it best work in the political aspect or in the socio-political aspect. Okay, but that is the problem. Sometimes we have to check ourselves if we are becoming fascist already. Is our ideology in life related or the same as the fascist or the conservative? Are we the type of individual that we are actually having fixed mindset? Because we are no longer open for suggestion, we cannot accept criticism or suggestion coming from other people. So this is something that we need to know. If we are already on the ideology of being fascists, of being what we call republicans, and being what we call conservative. On the other hand, there are what you call people who belong to the leftists. So these are people that we can call liberal ideas. Okay? So these are people who are clamoring for change, di ba? In psychology, these people who belong to the left wing of the political spectrum, they are the ones who possess what we call a growth mindset, because these people, no, in psychological perspective, they can easily accept change, no, whether the change is about politics, it's about economics, it's about political, social political, or social political rather. These people who have what we call a growth mindset, they are ready to accept change, and therefore they are expressing cooperative behavior. Okay, but the problem is, no, if you belong to the left wing of the political spectrum and you are having this growth mindset and you are ready to accept change, sometimes the extreme part of this, you are not realizing your self-worth as a person. Why? Because when you say you belong to the leftist or the left wing of the political spectrum, there's a tendency that you will have a radical thoughts. No? You are having these radical thoughts, and therefore, if you have not attained or get something that you are longing for, there's a tendency that you will become violent. Diba? That there is a tendency that you are not able now to manage your emotions. And there's a tendency that you don't see that you are already hurting other people because you are becoming radical for the change that you are longing for to have in yourself, in your family, or even in the community or in the country. You are becoming impatient. So these are the people who belong to the left wing of the political spectrum. That is why there are countries in the world who belong, no, the ideology, they possess the left wing ideology, They are very liberal, no, in terms of the changes that they would like to have in the society or in their family or in this country. Sometimes, no, because they're too much radical, no, there are many people who are joining revolution or the NPA. So we have to be very careful. And we have to be very knowledgeable of the ideologies of the group of people that we are joining with. Okay? The government is telling us that we need to scrutinize or to really evaluate the group. Okay? These are what we call people group, okay, or group in the society, perhaps political parties or political groups, social groups. We have to be very careful. You need to research about the rationality, the objectives, the mission, vision of those groups. Because we do not want to be labeled. We do not want to be included in the list of the red tagging of the government. And in the left wing, people who have these liberal ideologies, there is a tendency that they will have the extreme, okay, the extreme hemisphere of political spectrum, and that is becoming a communist or a revolutionary leaders. Because the extreme part of the left wing in the political spectrum is the communists. These are people who are longing for egalitarian rule. No? When you say egalitarian, equal, everything should be equal. But mind you, my friends, in the history of the world, okay, no country in this world has become successful in the implementation of communism. Not even Russia, formerly USSR, they are the first country who adopted communism, but they are not successful. And they were not able to actually actualize and implemented the full idea of communism of Karl Marx. Okay? There has no country yet in this world that was able to implement the true meaning of communism. It remains it remained until now as an ideology. And therefore, my friends, no, there's no utopia in this world. When you say utopia, that is perfect state. Perfect state cannot be found on this earth because the perfect state can be found after our death. And that is the life after death, which God, Jesus Christ Himself, has given us or has promised us to achieve after our present time. So we have to be very careful. We have to assess ourselves if sometimes or the things that we believe in right now are actually going towards the left hemisphere of the political spectrum. That your ideology is more liberal to the point that you're becoming radical, to the point that you're becoming socialist and communist in thinking. My dear friends, we have to know and we have to be conscious of our action. Now, what is the best advice? The best advice for us to stay at the center. You can be liberal, but not too much liberal. Meaning, you can accept, you have this what you call growth mindset. But still, there are things, okay, from the conservative side that you can still practice and it is well, good, best applied in your life. you can actually practice what is tested already by our forefathers, di ba? Always stay at the center. You can have the thought or ideology of liberal, but at the same time, it is very important also to respect the old traditions and the old rules in our country. Always stay at the center. And that is balancing our political, our social, our economical thoughts and ideologies. Always stay at the center. Because if you will go extreme, you will become radical. Diba? If you will go extreme to the right, you will become fascist. You will control, di ba? Not only yourself, but other people. That's the fascist. Okay? Dictatorship, totalitarianism. That is why the best thing, my friend, is after knowing, di ba, our ideology, the philosophy, and the guiding principles which inspire us to live our life every day, we need to stay at the center. I always believe that too much is dangerous. That is why we always find a way to stay at the center and find your individual equilibrium. When I say individual equilibrium, you are actually balancing everything in your life. You don't go beyond what is extreme right, and that is the fascist, and you don't go beyond what is the extreme left, and that is becoming radicals, and therefore eventually it will lead to anarchy, lawlessness. Always stay at the center. So, my dear friends, thank you very much for tuning in. And I hope to see you once again on this My Opinion Matters. For all my subscribers, please share all my videos on my YouTube channel. It's John Padillon. And if you have question and suggestion and inquiries, please use the chat box and just type your message there. And later on, I will entertain all your calls, I'm sorry, your texts and your messages. So thank you very much, my friends, for watching again, for staying with me. No, I hope to see you once again on another round of this interesting discussion here on My Opinion Matters. Always remember, no matter how life difficult is, God alone is enough. And that is according to Saint Teresa of Avila. So, till next time, my friends, thank you very much, and God loves you. Bye bye.